It's a small gathering on the outskirts of Yangon, attracting more onlookers than demonstrators. It's in solidarity with a sit-in protest by students in another town calling for amendments to the recently passed education law. Fearful of being arrested for demonstrating without a permit, they disperse after 10 minutes.
Education is not just related to students, it concerns the younger generation. 50 million people in the new generations to come are subject to the education system, so it needs to be better and more democratic. This is why we support the protest.
For the past few days, activists have been trying to evade police, holding protests in different places, announcing the locations just a day before the protest, and sometimes turning up hours later to give security the slip. The main protest is in Letpadan town, 3 hours' drive from Yangon. Some 150 students have been camped out there since February. They are unhappy with the new education law, which doesn't allow them to form unions and leaves little scope for decision-making to universities. They want to bring their protest to Yangon, the former capital and main commercial hub, but are unable to do so because of the heavy security presence. Police, however, haven't been able to stop other protests in support of the students from popping up in the city. There are signs the government is losing patience. Activists say police used vigilantes to break up a protest last week and arrest protesters. Use of a civilian force is allowed under Myanmar law and was often used by the former military regime. The government says it's listening to the students' demands. It's appointed a parliamentary committee to hold public consultations on the matter.
The reform process and hearing is being held because of the student strike. It's a result of talks between students, advocates and lawmakers.
How the government handles the protests will be closely watched. It transitioned from military rule to a semi-civilian one 4 years ago and will hold elections later this year. Already there are calls for it to allow its citizens the right for peaceful assembly as part of a democratic society. Florence Louis, Al Jazeera, Yangon.